Hi there and welcome to Transcona Trailer Sales. Today we'll be walking you through your 2024 Forest River Chaparral 254Rls. We are just going to start off the back of the unit. If you notice up top there, you are pre-wired for an observation camera. If you'd like to get set up with that, you can contact our parts department and they can put together a quote for you. And then just on the left side of the unit, you just squeeze this bumper cap and pull out. You're going to get your 20-foot sewer hose. Once fully extended, it is about 20 feet long. Just keeping note of those two ears there. Those are going to be the same two ears that hook up to your sewer outlet, which I will show you in a minute. We just keep it stored in the back bumper here to keep most of the smell out of the unit. Right here, you're going to notice this switch. These are going to be to operate your landing gear. If you push that button, extend, those feet are going to start making their way down to the ground. Once these feet contact the ground, you're going to hear the motors wind up. And that's when you're going to let off the button. You don't want to hold it for too long or try and lift the unit with them, as you do run the risk of damaging them. The feet do sometimes go up and down at different times, so just let them do their thing. And as soon as you hear them wind up like so, you can let off the button. They are just to stabilize the unit. They aren't really made to level the unit. And then to retract them, it is the same thing, just holding that retract button. Again, sometimes they will go up at different paces, but they will both eventually make their way up. And there you go, you're gonna hear that motor wind up, and that's when you know to stop. Taking a couple steps further down the unit, you do get to your sewer outlet, twisting and pulling. And you're going to take note of those two ears there. There's going to be the same two ears that hook up to that your sewer hose had, and they just line up with these notches here and twist into place. And then right down here, you got two. You got liquid waste and body waste. Liquid waste is going to be essentially your black tank from your toilet. So you're going to want to empty that first, and then you can follow behind that with your body waste, which is typically a little cleaner, coming from your sinks and your showers. So you can empty that second, just to try and keep that hose that little bit cleaner. And then you're going to notice right underneath here, you got this first hose right here, and that's going to be to empty your fresh tank and all your water inside of it. It's just located behind this shackle. That little blue hose, you'll see that cap. You also have two other blue hoses to the right of it, and those are just overflow tubes, so that you know when your tank is full when you're filling it. You're going to get to your power outlet. Today we are running a different adapter, but I will show you in a second what I mean. You got your twist lock connection, so this strip here lines up with this strip there. Just pressing that into place and locking it in. And then you got that threaded collar to really lock it down. If you follow that cord back is when I'm going to switch over to your actual cord. We just didn't want to get your cord dirty. You get your standard 50 amp plug end. A lot of campsites don't have this, as it's 50 amp service, so we do include this 30 amp adapter. Just keep it in mind when you're going down to 30 amps of power, you aren't going to want to run anything. You won't want to run two air conditioners at once. It is only to run one air conditioner. But with 50 amp service, you could run both at the same time. And then we also include a 15 amp adapter to go down from 30 to 15. But with that 15 amp adapter, really you're just wanting to run your fridge and your lights, no other appliances or anything like that. And then on the wall here, you're going to have your little tank guide, they call it. So all your water gets filled through your city water connection. And then if you notice right here, this is going to tell you how you want to have it. So if you're filling your tank, you'll have this bottom right one turned to the left, and your top one to tank fill. If you want to use the system, you got to turn that one to the left and this one up. And then city water hookup and winterize is both of these pointed up. You're going to notice you got this little cap here that is just for your winterization port for this hose to connect to. And then back over here, you got your black tanks with your black tank open and your hose connected. You get the garden hose in here, and that's just going to flush that tank out, keeping things that little bit cleaner. And then you get to your exterior shower. It just opens up with a standard 751 key. Your unit should come included with one. You just gotta stick the key in there, and it opens on up, and you got hot and cold water. Whenever your furnace is running, this is going to be blowing out hot air, so just be mindful of that. You do have 2 propane tanks. You got one on this side and one on the other side. I'm going to turn on the other one for you today. Around here, you got your front landing gear control, so you can either extend them or retract them. And then you also have these, so you can move those feet up and down. You have a little light up here too as well. Just turning that on will help you with docking at night. And then underneath here, really a big storage space, other than the fact you have your battery located underneath this black cover here and your solar controller right there, but it isn't really a controller. It is just a monitor system to tell you what your battery's charging at and your amp hours and stuff. Around the left of the unit, again, we'll open up this compartment. That does give you access to your other propane tank. Counterclockwise to open that up, just like barbecue. And that opens the flow of propane to the unit. So this compartment here, opening this guy up, you're going to get that 25-foot water hose and that 15 amp park adapter I told you about. Then located on the wall here, you're going to notice this tool. You take this, bring it down over here. This is what's going to be what lowers your spare tire. We do just keep that located on the wall here. You also do have a light and your GFI plug inside there as well, which is nice. Then you get to your hot water service port, so whenever your hot water is running, this will be blowing out hot air again, so be mindful of that. You can just pop this cover down. It's really just a service port inside here. You do got your on switch, which is right here. Turning that on will obviously supply power to the thermostat that's inside. You'll also have your flow control. We do just leave it on maximum because that's how we find they work the best. You got 2 110 plugins. Then to get inside the unit, just taking this assist handle, pushing it up, and folding 90 degrees. That'll allow you to open up your door. Then you can fold down your stairs. Taking a step on inside, first thing we notice off on the left, see that fire extinguisher, which is just like home, pull the pin and shoot. Located on the wall here, you got all your light switches. To turn on all your different lights. Turning those on, turning this switch on does turn on the rest of the interior lights, or the rest of the living space lights as well. And then you do have tank heaters on your fresh tank and your waste tanks. It is for extended camping season, but our Manitoba winters get much too cold for it to be adequate. So it is really for -5 is about as cold as you want to get, and even that's kind of pushing it. You got your monitor panel system to tell you what all your tank levels are at, but you do only have black one and gray one. The rest are just empty. Take that awning, push that extend button. It's going to start making its way out. Once fully extended, you're going to see the back of the metal tube and a little flap hang down. There you go, you got that little flap hanging down and that back of that middle tube. Now if it were to start raining, you can take any arm, front or rear, and just pull down on it, and it's going to change the pitch of the awning head, allowing water to then run off. Now, if you like that better, you can do the same thing. Do the same thing with the front arm, and it's going to allow for more shade underneath. Just making sure to push that back to straight before you push the bring the awning back in. That way you don't run the risk of bending anything. Again, just bending that, change the pitch, allowing the water to run off or for more shade, whichever you prefer. Then to bring it in, you're just holding that retract button and the awning's going to start making its way in, and once the arms contact the side of the trailer, motor is just going to cut out, and that's when you can let off the switch. There you go. Those are contact to the side of the trailer, and it's just going to cut out. Next, you got your slide out switch. Just pushing and holding that down will allow that slide out to start making its way out. Once fully extended, you can hear the whines and the clicks of the motor. Always making sure you know what's on either side of the slide before you run it. That way you don't damage anything. And there you go, you hear the clicking, and that's when you know to stop. Now, if you want to fold this couch down into a bed, you can do so. You do just have to remove the cushions. Grab the bottom of the couch, and then push, pull, and lift. And you're going to have legs on the bottom there. Folding those guys out. You'll be able to lay this down, fold down that backrest, and it would make a bed. And then to get it back in, it's just the opposite, making sure you fold the legs in, folding it back in with your knee a little bit. And just take your back cushions and put them back into place. You got storage all up top. All the blinds in here do work the same way. They're just going to kind of sit where you leave them. And then one quick pull will allow them to retract back up. In this area here, you do have some more lighting, just with the light switch on the wall, which brings me to the entertainment center. Not much I'm going to show you here. It's just like home, minus the fact of having zone 1 and zone 2 on the sound bar. Zone 1 is going to be the interior speakers inside here, and zone 2 will be those 2 exterior speakers you have on the outside. Whenever you are running the air conditioner, you have a couple ways you can run it. You can run it with these louvers closed, in which case it'll move all its air through the ceiling ducting you have throughout the unit. Or you can run it with these louvers open, in which case it's going to dump all its air into the main living space. So whenever you first get to your campsite, I do just recommend dumping all the air into here, cooling this area off, and then you can close it and move the air throughout. You have your ever-chill fridge. Controls for that are just down here. Pushing the button will change through your different controls, or you can push and hold it and then it'll turn itself off. Temperature control up here for the freezer. Then you got your microwave, which is just like home, which I'm going to show you there. You got your range hood, which I do always recommend running whenever you're cooking, using the stove, where you're evacuating the fumes out of the unit. Just turn it on, you're just turning those lights on, turning those knobs over the light, and hitting the sparkler, and they do fire right on up. We did have the propane system running already, so that's why it happens so quick. Sometimes it can take a few minutes just to purge all the air out of the lines if it's been off for a while. Get the oven to light, it's the same thing, pushing it over that pilot option, pushing and holding, hitting the sparker, and after a few tries, it lights up. Then you can turn it up to your desired temperature, and it fires right on up. Like I said, sometimes it can take a few minutes, so just be patient with it. Right on the wall here, you're going to notice you got this GFI plug. This is your main GFI plug, so if you ever have an outlet that doesn't work, this would be the first place I check. You got reset in the middle, and you got test on the left. You got your sink with hot and cold water, storage all around. One thing I forgot to mention with this water heater is that there is no bypass valves. You do just run antifreeze through it and make sure you crack the pressure relief valve and leave it open throughout the winter. That way it leaves room for the antifreeze to exit it. Storage all around. And then right down on the ground here, you're going to have your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air. This guy starts going off. You are just going to want to turn off the main supply of propane to the unit and open up some windows just to ventilate it out a little bit. And then you got your main fuse and breaker panel. Whenever breaker trips, it's going to sit in the middle, so you do just have to turn it off and then back on again to reset it. And whenever you have a fuse blow, there'll be a little red indicator light letting you know which one's gone. Taking a step up on the wall, you do have a little light here as well. You're going to have your Furrion thermostat. Pushing that button turns it on. It's going to bring you into zone 1. Zone 1 is currently the only system you have set up. You do have pre-wiring for a second air conditioner into the bedroom here, but again, you have to have a site with 50 amp service for you to be able to run both at the same time. Just leaving it on zone 1 will allow you to run this air conditioner up here, change the temperature just by the pushing the buttons. You can change the fan speed just by pushing fan. You can sleep it, and it puts it into a sleep mode. You got your different zones, so that zone 2 isn't even hooked up. You can program this thermostat also, so it can turn on and on at different times. So if you have this at a seasonal site, you can program it to turn it on before you get out there and to turn off once you leave. You can change the light setting on here, and then just pushing your mode button gets you over to heat, which will fire up the furnace, and that moves all its air through the floor ducting you see we have throughout. That also runs off propane. Then you get into fan. Fan is just moving air around with the air conditioner, no heating or cooling involved. And then you get into dry, so it's going to use the air conditioner to try and take as much humidity out of the air as possible. Or you can put it into auto, set your temperature on your thermostat, and it'll kick in whatever it needs based on your temperature, or just leave it on cool. Power button to turn it off. Looking inside the bedroom here, or the bathroom here, take a note of this travel strap. Doesn't allow this door to go anywhere. Whenever you're traveling, making sure that's locked. That way it doesn't cause any damage. The same goes for the same does go for the shower. These are glass doors as well, so they're very easy to break. Locking that travel strap won't allow those doors to go anywhere. You got your toilet flusher right on the right. On the wall, you're gonna notice you do have your thermostat. Hitting that power button turns it on. You can turn your temperature up and down with the arrows. Whenever you turn on a faucet, the little flame thing's gonna come on, and it'll tell you that that's working. Not really much else you need to worry about there. You got your sink with hot and cold water. You do have a second GFI plug located in the bathroom here. So again, if you have an outlet that doesn't work, first place I'd look, this one or the one in the kitchen. Storage down below. And then taking a step into the bedroom, you got hot and cold water. You got your bedroom space. You got storage on either side of the bed. You also have plugins on both sides of the bed. Windows on either side, and then just located in this window here is the fire exit for up here. It's going to work pretty simple. You're just going to take this tab, pull it, this whole screen is going to pop out, and then at that point you can just take this handle, push it out, and you can hop on out of the unit. That's going to be it for this unit here. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call.